America calls its officers the world's finest. Turkey calls its officers the fearless ones. One of them has won the World Commando Championship 4 times. One of them has the largest special operations budget on the planet. These are not the same thing, and today we're going to prove it category by category, fact by fact. No bias, just the truth. You decide which one is actually built for war. And before we get into it, subscribing and hitting like on this channel means everything to us. Let's start at the beginning. Before any training, before any operation, before any of it, how do you even get in? In America, to join LAPD SWAT, you must already be an active LAPD officer with at least 2 years on patrol. Then comes the written exam, the physical fitness test, the psychological evaluation, the polygraph. Out of every 100 officers who apply, 6 get selected, 6%. In Turkey, to join Özel Harekat, you must already be an active duty police officer with at least 1 year of service. Then comes the physical testing, the psychological evaluation, the stress scenarios, problems with no solution, placed alone in a room, watched without being told what's being watched, the leadership assessment, the full board interview. Out of every 100 who apply, 3 get selected, 3%. Both processes are brutal. Both eliminate the vast majority. But the Turkish selection adds one layer that LAPD SWAT does not, the unsolvable problem. Candidates are placed alone in a room with a task that has no correct answer. The evaluators are not looking for the solution. They are watching how you behave when there is no solution. That distinction matters, because in the field there is often no correct answer. There is only what you do next. Which selection process do you think is harder? Drop TR or US in the comments. Now let's talk about what happens after you get in. LAPD SWAT 6 months of initial training at Elysian Park, close quarters battle, decision scenarios under the 4-second rule, tactical medicine, vehicle operations, crisis negotiation support, and ongoing monthly training requirements every year after that. This is elite training, genuinely elite, do not underestimate it. Turkish Özel Harekat initial selection followed by months of specialized commando training, mountain warfare with field exercises in the Taurus Mountains, urban warfare and close quarters battle at a standard that has won international competitions, SEER training, real interrogation, real stress positions, real psychological pressure, explosive ordnance, combat medicine, halo jumps, underwater operations at night with 0 visibility. The difference is scope. LAPD SWAT is trained as a law enforcement unit, the best law enforcement unit. Özel Harekat is trained as something in between law enforcement and military special forces. The mountain phase, the SEER training, the underwater operations, these are military special forces elements that LAPD SWAT does not include, because LAPD SWAT is built for a city. Özel Harekat is built for a city and everything beyond it. Is 6 months enough to be truly elite, or does Turkey's longer and broader training actually make a difference in the field? Tell us what you think below. Now we get to the part that makes some people uncomfortable, the scoreboard. When you put both sides on the same field, under the same rules, with the same clock, what happens? In 2018, the World Commando Championship was held in Jordan. 42 countries sent their best: land navigation, weapons shooting, obstacle course, tactical operation scenarios, points accumulated across every category. Turkey finished first. In 2019, first again. In 2022, first again. American instructors flew to Turkey to observe the Turkish training program, to understand how this kept happening. The United States has the largest military budget in human history, $886 billion in 2023 alone. And Turkey, with a fraction of that budget, keeps standing on the top step of the same podium. 3 consecutive championship wins against 42 countries, including American units. Budget is not the same as capability, and the scoreboard proves it. Does winning competitions actually mean you're better in a real operation? Or is field experience what actually counts? This is the real debate. Comment below competition record or combat record, which brings us to the operations. LAPD SWAT 1997 North Hollywood shootout. 2 heavily armed bank robbers in full body armor. LAPD SWAT responded and held the line until the threat was neutralized. The 2013 Christopher Dorner manhunt. Hundreds of barricade situations, hostage rescues, and high-risk warrant services every single year, covering 8 million people across 503 square miles. This is real work. Dangerous work, elite work. Turkish Özel Harekat, July 15, 2016. A military coup was attempted in Turkey. Soldiers with tanks, F-16s in the sky, and Turkish Özel Harekat units law enforcement officers stood against military hardware with police equipment and held. Then came Operation Euphrates Shield cross-border counterterrorism operations in Syria. Operation Olive Branch urban and rural combat in Afrin. The Operation Claw series operations in the northern Iraq mountains against entrenched positions, against opponents with military-grade weapons and anti-aircraft capability. This is the most important distinction in this entire video. LAPD SWAT is a law enforcement unit. It is elite within that context, but Turkish Özel Harekat has operated in active war zones, in Syria, in Iraq, on home soil against a military coup. These are not the same operational environments. If you are asking which unit has been tested at a higher level of danger, the answer is documented. Should we even be comparing a law enforcement unit to a combat force? Or is that the whole point, that Özel Harekat operates at a level that blurs that line completely? Tell us what you think. Now the part nobody talks about. What does this job actually cost the people who do it? LAPD SWAT, the schedule demands sacrifice. 24-hour rotations. The crew lives together on shifts, strong peer support programs, high divorce rates industry-wide. The pride and identity deeply connected to the LAPD badge. The public knows they exist. The public thanks them. That visibility fills something. Turkish Özel Harekat deployments away from family, sometimes months with no contact for operational security. On July 15, 2016, many Özel Harekat families did not know their loved ones had been deployed against the coup until it was already over. The cost is carried quietly. The public knows Özel Harekat exists. The public knows almost nothing about how they operate. That silence is by design. Both units produce people who carry things home that they cannot put into words. Both produce families who learn to live with the absence. Both produce a brotherhood that those outside cannot fully understand. The difference is visibility. LAPD SWAT operates in one of the most media-saturated cities on Earth. Every operation has potential cameras. Özel Harekat operates in the dark. By design, which matters more to you, a unit that the public knows and respects, or a unit that operates in complete silence, drop visible or silent below. So here is the verdict. Selection process, edge to Turkey. Lower pass rate, behavioral stress testing more comprehensive. Training breadth, edge to Turkey. Military special forces elements included. Competition record, edge to Turkey. 3 consecutive world championships. Operational experience, edge to Turkey. Active combat zone deployments at military scale. Unit culture and personal cost draw. Same sacrifice, different visibility. Budget and resources, edge to America. Largest defense budget on Earth by a significant margin. Public accountability and transparency, edge to America. Most documented, most scrutinized special operations culture in the world. 4-2, with 1 draw, Turkey. Does this mean American units are inferior? No. Does this mean Turkish Özel Harekat is the best unit in the world? Also no. What it means is this: the assumption that America automatically produces the best because America spends the most is not supported by the evidence. When you put both units through the same tests, the same competition, the same selection standards, Turkey does not fall behind. In some categories, Turkey leads, and that is worth knowing. The men and women of LAPD SWAT are elite. The men and women of Turkish Özel Harekat are elite. Both run toward what everyone else runs from. Both carry things home that they cannot explain. The difference is one of them the world knows. One of them the world is still learning about. Now you know a little more. Who do you think wins this? Drop your verdict in the comments. And tell us, what comparison do you want to see next? Turkish Özel Harekat vs British SAS. Bordeaux Barreliler vs Delta Force. Tell us below. If you made it to the end, drop one word: fearless. Let's see who really watched until the end. Subscribe. New video every week. See you in the next one.